Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Bradley Gymnasium on the campus of Boston Trinity Academy in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls volleyball matchup between the hosting Lions of Boston Trinity Academy and the visiting Newman School Cardinals. This should be a fun one today, one of the last hurrahs for both teams before the playoffs roll around in the weeks to come. Both of these teams seem well on their way to postseason berths, coming into this game with a winning record. Boston Trinity coming in with a record of 7-6. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, but they've stayed strong throughout. Newman, meanwhile, they're riding a hot streak, 5 consecutive wins, including last Friday's 5-set thriller against Hoosac School. Now has Newman at a record of 9-3 on the season. So this one should be a fun one here today. I'm certainly looking forward to it. These are two schools I've done a fair amount of coverage for. Newman, of course, every year during the fall and winter, I cover plenty of games for them. And then Boston Trinity, a school that I've done some boys basketball live streams for. So happy to be covering both schools here. I think this should be an enjoyable live stream. And for those of you tuning in live at home to watch this one, first off, if you end up enjoying this broadcast, I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But then also, even more so, I encourage you to participate either in the live chat here on YouTube or to send me an email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen. You can send me any messages you feel like. It could be something as simple as Go Newman or Go BTA. You know, no matter what team you're rooting for, we appreciate fans bringing good vibes and showing support in the live chat here. You know, maybe you want to give a more specific shout out. Maybe you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend and you want to give them a shout out as a specific player. Or maybe you want to let us know where you're tuning in from. With these online live streams that can be watched all over the world, sometimes we get people tuning in from different states or sometimes even different countries, and that can be really fun to hear about. So, you know, that can be fun to add to the conversation of the game. And then on the more important side, if you notice any technical difficulties with this live stream, it could be with the video, it could be with the audio, maybe you don't like the camera angle, this, that, or the other thing, I encourage you to speak up and say something in the live chat because that can help me out a lot. You never know. What you're pointing out might be something that I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that's an easy fix. So if you notice something wrong, speak up and say something. And then lastly, if you notice me, in a similar vein, if you notice me messing up the names of any of the players, in terms of pronunciation or in terms of getting jersey numbers wrong or something like that. Maybe someone's wearing a different jersey number from what's normally listed on the roster. You know, whatever the case may be, I encourage you to correct me, again, either in the live chat or via email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen. I know there are some folks who kind of have the feeling of, oh, I don't want to be a bother. It's not that big a deal. First off, you're not bothering me. You're helping me. I actually like it a lot when people help correct me on my pronunciation because it lets me know that I'm definitely getting it right after being corrected, you know, as opposed to just hoping that my first guess on a player name pronunciation is correct because it's not all going to be 100%. And then secondly, this is important to me. I want to give these student athletes the best coverage I possibly can, and to me, part of that means doing them the basic honor and respect of getting their name right. Just shrinking our scoreboard cam there just a teensy bit so it doesn't cover up the court. Important to note is that in volleyball there's both points and sets in terms of the count towards the victory. Now the points are going to be the big numbers at the top. You see the 0 under Lions and the 0 under Guest. That's number of points that a team has won in the current set. Now, what's normally listed as fouls on the scoreboard, because that's normally a basketball scoreboard, what's normally listed as fouls is actually going to be the number of sets a team has won. And remember, folks, it's first to 3 sets wins, best of 5, and each set is first to 25, win by 2, unless it's the do-or-die 5th set. If we go through 4 sets tied at 4, we go to a 5th set where it's first to 15, win by 2, as opposed to 25. And with all that said, let's take a look at the rosters for the 2 teams coming into today. We see Boston Trinity warming up in their green jerseys with black jersey numbers. Let's start with them. Going in order of jersey number for BTA, first off we have number 1, the libero, Elizabeth Chung. Next we have number 4, Hyunbi Kaya Lee. Number 6, Juliana Tong. Number 7, Zhang Ning Yu. Number 8, Addie Green. Number 9, Linda Glasswinkler. Number 10, Jensine Johnson. Number 11, Tiffany Comiso. Number 12, Anna Ricky Keltner. Number 13, Ava Becker. Number 4, Carolina Santagata. Number 15, Angela Sonicletus. Number 16, Toai Ni Mina Tran. Number 17, Reese Pothier. Number 18, Glorianne Long. That is the roster for the Boston Trinity Academy girls volleyball team. As they're warming up here, and now let's go over. You can kind of see in the right side of your screen, you can see Newman huddling up in the corner with their white jerseys and dark blue jersey numbers. Let's go over the roster for the Newman School Cardinals. Going in order of jersey number for Newman, first off, we have a junior, number 1, Sasha Corey. Next, another junior, number 2, Callahan Callie Brown. A freshman, number 3, Nina Antonik. A sophomore, number 4, Lore Perry Johnson. A junior, number 6, Adeline Addie Gordon. A junior, she normally wears number 7. Today she's wearing number 27 as the libero, Charlotte Irwin. A junior, number 8, Ruby Romer. A junior, number 9, Federica Fede Lopez. A sophomore, number 10, Vivian Strandberg. A freshman, number 11, Emma Francischet. Another freshman, number 15, Hannah Kosovic. And a senior, she normally wears number 12 or 13, but today she's wearing number 16, Taryn Campbell. Head coach of the Newman School girls volleyball team is Samantha Schultz. So as you can see from the scoreboard, both very visible at the center of your screen, but also zoomed in a tiny bit in the bottom right corner of your screen. We got about a minute and a half before we get this one underway. And like I said, folks, any notes about how you guys are feeling about the presentation of this broadcast, just feel free to let me know either in the live chat here on YouTube or by sending me an email. So, like, if you're thinking, hey, having the scoreboard in the bottom left corner when it's already up there, you know, at the top of our screen is kind of annoying. If you think that's an annoyance, let me know. I can, you know, get rid of it. You know, normally I have a scoreboard cam going because normally either the scoreboard's not visible, or I'm moving the camera for other sports. But in volleyball, we just keep the camera stationary to give you guys the best possible view of the action. And so the scoreboard's it's just right there. Seconds away from getting this one started. All right, after the traditional pregame handshakes between the two teams, they huddle up, and we'll soon be starting the first set of this best-of-5 match. Boston Trinity starters out on the floor. We see number 7, Zhang Ning Yu, number 16, Mina Tran. I think I see number 10, Jensine Johnson, number 14, Carolina Santagata, number 11, Tiffany Comiso, and I think number 18, Glorianne Long, as Comiso is going to sub out for the libero, Elizabeth Chung. For Newman, we see the starters, Fede Lopez, Hannah Kosovic, who's probably going to sub out for the libero along that back line, Ruby Romer, Taryn Campbell, Callie Brown, and Vivian Strandberg. And indeed, Kosovic going to sub out for Irwin, the libero. And we're about ready to get this match underway. Ruby Romer will be sending over the first serve of the match. Here we go. The serve is received by Chung, sent over on one, sent right back on one. A diving dig there by Zhang Ning Yu. Bumped up there by Chung, and boy, they just ran out of hits there. First point goes to Newman. Good attacking at the net by number 2, Callie Brown. Not enough for a full kill, but still good aggressiveness there from Newman. Romer's serve received by Chung, bumped up by Johnson, and whiffed on the spike attempt by Santagata. BTA coming out with some early match jitters here, as Romer's serve is going to be an ace. Chung a bit indecisive about whether or not to take that one or let it go, and in the end that backfires. This serve received by Chung, bumped up there by number 18 Long, bumped over by Johnson, taken by Irwin, set by Romer to the right side. Taryn Campbell's spike is deflected and dug out by Chung, set by Johnson. A roll shot goes just wide. Good idea from Mina Tran going cross court with that shot. Just had a little too much on it. If she was able to get a little more topspin on that one, that could have dropped on the sideline for a kill. Instead, it's a 4-0 lead here in the first set. Romer's serve dug out there by Long, but can't be followed up. That's another ace for Ruby Romer, her second. Romer had 4 aces against Husak last Friday to go along with 22 assists and 3 kills. Off to a good start with her serves here. This serve is another ace. That's going to go off the back wall. Ruby Romer starting off strong. 3 aces and a 6-0 lead as Boston Trinity calls timeout. We got our first note in the live chat from Lisa Schultz saying, Jesse, thanks for covering the game. Go Newman. My pleasure, Lisa. Thank you so much for tuning in. As head coach for Newman, Samantha Schultz has got to be quite pleased with the start her team is getting off to here. 6-0 the advantage. You know, part of it is just strong serving, and Newman has always had strong serving at this level. I mean, I mentioned last Friday's game against Hoosac in a 5-set thriller that really came down to the wire. Newman had a bunch of aces. They had, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4 different players with at least 3 aces, 3 players with at least 4 aces, and leading the way in serving, Callie Brown had 7 aces, including the match winner. So Newman, a team that can get hot on serve when given the opportunity, and they're showing that off to start this match. Out of the timeout, this serve from Romer is received there by Yu, bumped up by Johnson, punched down the line, but wide by Santagata. The second hit a little further out in front of Santagata than she was expecting, and couldn't turn around in time to get the angle off the hand she wanted. Romer's serve off the fingertips. Mark 4 aces for Ruby Romer within the first 8 points of the match. This serve is going to go sideways off the hands. It is chased down and recovered by Yu, bumped over by Johnson. Received by Strandberg, sent by Romer. That's off the mark. Oh, did they touch the net, though? They did. Oh. That is unfortunate for Carolina Santagata. You know, she's had a few points early in this one where it's like she has the right idea. You know, that's like you want your players to be aggressive in that kind of situation. She might have over-pursued it just a bit. Might have been better to just let that second hit drop, as it was an erroneous second hit by Romer. But in the end, she tried to attack it and touch the net. Romer's serve received there by Chung, bumped up by Johnson. Santagata is blocked. Blocked by Taryn Campbell that time. Campbell was the team leader in kills for Newman last Friday against Hoosac. She finished with 12 in her senior day game. Now has a block. This serve is short, but it's received there by Tran, followed up and bumped over by Johnson. Taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Brown's punch deflected and taken by Chung. Set by Johnson, sent over. A roll shot, and that time it works. Mina Tran with the first kill of the day for either team, and BTA is finally on the board after Newman took the first 10 points of the set. I said earlier, I think it actually was Tran that had that earlier roll shot that just went wide. She stuck to the attack and got it there. This serve is going to go for an ace. Newman got a little lost on the service receive that time, and that's going to be an ace for Zhang Ning Yu. Yu serve, taken by Irwin, bumped up by Lopez, punched over by Campbell, sent back on one. Strandberg whiffed on that one as BTA takes the point. Another one of those points where the player gets aggressive, but more aggressive than they should have been. Strandberg, I think, was expecting that one to come in shallower than it did, and it went over her head. Yu serve shallow, dug out by Lopez, recovered by Johnson, tapped over on 2 by Santagata, dug out by Romer, followed up by Irwin, and Romer will bump it over. Taken there by Yu, set by Johnson. No, that's Tran. Tran with the spike, and she's got her second kill. 2 kills now for Mina Tran and 2 assists for Jensine Johnson, as BTA has now scored 4 unanswered after allowing 10 unanswered. Serve from Yu into the net, and it will go back to Newman. This has been a game of runs so far here in the first set. 11-4, the Newman lead. Serve from Callie Brown. Goes sideways off the hands, but it's recovered by Yu. And just whiffed on the punch over. Santagata trying to see if she could make the turn on that one. She needed really good timing in order to make that one work. And unfortunately for her, didn't get it. Brown's serve coming in high, taken by Chung, set by Johnson, punched over by Santagata, received by Irwin, set by Romer, spike by Brown, just long, or by Lopez, excuse me. Lopez missed that one just long. Substitution coming in for Newman, number 6, Addie Gordon is going to replace Callie Brown on the back line. It'll be Mina Tran on serve for the Lions, and she sends her first into the net. 13-5. As for Newman now, number 15, Hana Kosovic checks in on the front line as Charlotte Irwin, the libero, goes on serve. This serve taken by Chung. Bumped up by Johnson. Spike is blocked. Recovered. Oh, but couldn't be followed up. A nice block there. It was almost recovered. But good net presence there on the right side. Again, it was Taryn Campbell picking up her second block of the match. Irwin's serve came in shallow and they weren't ready for it. That's an ace. Irwin had just one ace against Husak to go along with 3 assists, as she's more of a defensive player as the libero. This serve received by Chung, sent on 2 by Johnson, taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Campbell punches it high, and it's taken by Johnson. Bumped up by Chung. Long sends a roll shot, taken by Irwin, set by Romer, sent down the line by Fede Lopez, and Lopez has her first kill. Took a while for Newman to get their first kill of the match despite their tremendous lead, but that is going to be the first for Lopez, who had 9 kills, 4 aces, and 1 assist against Husak on Friday. First assist also for Romer, who racked up 22 of those against Husak. Irwin's serve is shallow, barely recovered, bumped up by Long, and bumped over by Johnson. Taken by Irwin, followed up by Romer, and it's going to be bumped over by Lopez. Taken deep there by number 6, Juliana Tong, followed up by Yu and bumped over. Newman trying to set it up, bumped up by Campbell, pushed over by Kosovic. Taken by Yu, sent over on 2 by Johnson, read well by Romer, followed up by Irwin, punched into the net by Taryn Campbell. That second hit further back from the net than you would ideally like as a spiker, and Campbell tried to send a, more of a downward trajectory spike, which is better to send when you're closer to the net. Need a little more lift on that one. 2 subs checking in for Newman, number 3, Nina Antonik, and number 4, Laura Perry Johnson, as they replace Campbell and Kosovic. Chung the serve, and a good watch there at the last second by Addie Gordon as that serve sails long. She was thinking about taking that one, pulled her arms away at the last second. Newman up by 11, 17-6. Antonik the serve, received by Yu, followed up by Johnson, punched over by Long, and that's going to sail wide. Again, BTA has just struggled on plays where they need to turn their bodies to get in position for the hit. They just haven't been timing them up right, and it's caused them to miss some hits. Antonik's serve, received by Chung. Bumped up by Johnson, close to the net. It's barely hit over, but I think that's going to be an illegal underhit. Yeah, you can't hit it underhand when it's in play. That's a violation on BTA, and that gives the point to Newman. I mean, you can't really hold that against the BTA hitter. Looks like an appeal from the BTA coach to take a look at this one. I mean, it seemed like a textbook underhand hit there. They're just discussing it. Like I said, even if it's a violation, you can't blame the hitter too much, as it was kind of out in an awkward spot. Just got to try and keep that hand face up. And after they explain their ruling, the ruling stands as called. 19-6, Newman leads. Antonik's serve coming in shallow. It's received, but sent over on one. Oh, they whiffed. Trying to send it back on one was Perry Johnson. No dice there. That serve was received and sent over on one by Tiffany Comiso for BTA. Now they got another sub coming in. That's Anna Ricky Keltner. She subs in place of Zhang Ning Yu. Jensine Johnson, the serve. Received cleanly by Gordon there, bumped up by Romer. Roll shot from Lopez, taken by Johnson, bumped up by Chung, and bumped over by, I believe, Long, taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez fires hard and drops it in perfectly. Great execution and decision-making by Fede Lopez. She went for the roll shot when the set was a little further back from the net and the blockers were in place, then went for the big swing when she got the perfect set close to the net to slam it. Second kill of the day for Fede Lopez, second assist for Romer. Lopez misses on the serve. 20-8 now the score. Glorianne Long on serve now for the Lions. This serve gonna drop on the back line. Good top spin from Glorianne Long to drop that one in, as Newman decided to try and watch it, see if it flew out, and it did not. Long serve received by Lopez, chased down by Romer, and bumped over by Brown. And Brown's going to get the bump kill on that one off the erroneous receive by Boston Trinity. You know, maybe not the prettiest looking kill in the world, but, you know, a point's a point. Couple of BTA defenders just unsure who was going to take that one. First kill of the day for Callie Brown, who had 4 kills to go along with her team-leading 7 service aces on Friday against Husak. 3 assists now for Ruby Romer. On serve for the Cardinals now will be number 15, Hannah Kosovic, as we got a timeout called by Newman. Huh. Not often you see a team call timeout when they're up 12 in a set, but you know, maybe Coach Schultz just trying to get him a little more organized. We got another note in the live chat from Chelsea Blanchard saying, "Go Newman ladies, I am Vivian Strandberg's mom and I am at work. I am so grateful to be able to see the games that you live stream. Working parents dream, go girls." Hey, I'm happy to be able to provide this service, Chelsea. I'm just a simple man, a simple sports fan, and I'm happy to get the opportunity to do this for a living. And, you know, the fact that it gives such an opportunity to you guys, the fans and family members of these players, that's just icing on the cake for me. You know, out of the timeout, we'll see what the execution looks like as we head towards the final stretch of this first set. Newman 4 points away from taking the set. And Coach Schultz explaining some rotational changes to the officials. looks like they're undoing the substitution. Maybe they're... Are they going to try and do it again, or are they saying they couldn't do it? Okay. Kosovic subbing in. And now Strandberg subbing in for Perry Johnson. Yeah, volleyball's got some very interesting substitution rules. I don't always 100% understand them. I know that part of the purpose of the libero position is you can kind of like sub them out almost as many times you want, whereas there's limits to how many times you can sub out non-libero players. You know, thus the libero position gives you a little bit more flexibility, because you can see there are some players that you want to have on the front line. They're good blockers because they're tall, but because they're tall, it takes them a little just like a split second longer to get to the ground to try and dig out, you know, a hard hit from an opponent defensively, which is why players like liberos and defensive specialists tend to be on the shorter side in this sport, and why they tend to play on the back line. And the thing is, in volleyball, the players have to rotate around. The players have to rotate around the court with each change of serve. And so what that means is that eventually players who only want to be playing in the back court would rotate to the front court. So when that happens, you sub that player out, you sub in a player that you only want on the front court. And by using the libero's unlimited substitutions, that gives you the flexibility to make some of those substitutions happen within your rotations. You know, like using Newman as an example, Charlotte Irwin is their libero. They want her on the back line. Addie Gordon is a defensive specialist who plays exclusively on the back line. They don't send her to the front because they know her greatest strength is receiving opposing hits, not battling for blocks at the net. And meanwhile, a player like Vivian Strandberg, she's got significant height, and so they like having her at the front line as a blocker, but not necessarily the best to be trying to get low to dig out a hit from an opponent, so they don't want her on the back line. And so again, when Strandberg rotates into what would be a backline position, you know, she'll sub out for someone else. You know, I hope that explanation was good enough. I'm not, you know, the expert on volleyball, never played organized volleyball, never coached it. I've just watched it a lot as a commentator, and so I'm just filling in what I've picked up over my time watching and commentating. And hopefully it's of some help to you guys in bettering your understanding of the game. And of course, I know there are going to be some fans who understand this stuff better than I do and just find my explanations redundant. So I hope that wasn't too boring for you guys. And if nothing else, it helped fill up some dead air as they tried to figure out what was going on with the substitutions. But it feels like now we've got it figured out, and now Hana Kosovic will go on serve for the Cardinals. This serve received by Chung, but it's not going to be followed up. The freshman, Hana Kosovic, picking up an ace. And misses that one underneath the net, and it goes back to the Lions. And now that Kosovic is no longer serving, she is one of those players they only want on the front line. So now that she's done serving, they sub her out for Charlotte Irwin, the libero. On serve here, Comiso. I think they're saying she foot faulted. I think Comiso stepped over the back line before her hand hit the ball, and so it's a foot fault, and it gives a free point to Newman. We cycle back to Ruby Romer, who got Newman off to such a hot start with some strong serving, and she's going to miss her first into the net. So that's 3 straight service errors between these two teams. Kosovic missed, Comiso the foot fault, and now Romer misses. Now we're over to Zhang Ning Yu. Yu's serve Received there by Brown, bumped up by Romer, and missed by Antonik. And you will go back on serve. Newman still just 2 points away from taking this first set. Used serve, received by Irwin, set by Romer, punched over by Brown, deflected, dug out there by Yu, but could not be followed up. Yu was down on the ground and her hit went straight up in the air, which meant that her teammates had to be in a similar area to try and get their hands on that one. Not quite a kill, but it does put Newman at set point. Callie Brown now serving for the set. This one comes in high and deep, received by Yu, sent on two by Johnson, received by Antonik, set by Romer, tap over by Lopez. Great touch from Fede Lopez to finish the set. Let's take a look at this one again. Fede Lopez opted to go for a light touch there. She saw the blockers coming up and defenders behind them sagging back a little bit, anticipating a harder shot, and she just went for the light tap over, picked up her third kill of the match. Romer her fourth assist. 25-12, the final there as Newman goes up 1-0. We should see that foul count on the scoreboard go up to 1 for Newman. And in the meantime, excuse me, I'm going to take a break and mute the mic and run a YouTube ad break. But I'll be back with the second set. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Bradley Gym on the campus of Boston Trinity Academy in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second set of this high school varsity girls volleyball matchup between the Newman School Cardinals and the BTA Lions. Newman taking the first set, 25-12. The scoreboard should have a 1 there for Newman's 1 set win, but they're not doing it. If that's the case, I might have to switch to my manual score bug if they're not going to update the set scores. Set scores are really important but they don't seem to be updating it. So that's really annoying. Yep, looks like they're not updating it. And BTA will start off this second set. The serve from Zhang Ning Yu, received by Callie Brown, set by Ruby Romer, punched over by Vivian Strandberg, dug out by Yu, followed up by Jensine Johnson, and Elizabeth Chung bumps that over. Taken by Charlotte Irwin, set by Romer. A spike from Taryn Campbell, and it's dug out and sent over on one, and Campbell whiffed on the follow-up spike. This serve from Yu, received by Irwin, set by Romer. A spike from Brown, deflected and dug out there by Santagata. Punched over there by Santagata. A diving follow-up by Romer as Strandberg couldn't get it over, or, well, did get it over, but it goes wide. So BTA off to a good start here with a 2-0 lead. This serve is an ace. Hesitation there on the back line by Newman. Results in an ace for Zhang Ning Yu, her second of the day. Newman dominated in that first set, 25-12, but can't take it for granted as this serve received by Irwin, bumped up there by Campbell, punched over by Brown, received by Chung, bumped up by Santagata, and punched over. And that one dropped in. Mina Tran loves going for those cross-court roll shots as she drops in her third kill of the match. 4-0, the Lions lead. Yu's serve goes off the hand of Brown, followed up by Campbell. Just utter confusion for Newman as they are struggling out of the gate here. 5-0, the Lions lead. Remember, the first set started with a 10-0 lead for Newman. Yu's serve, received by Irwin, bumped up by Lopez, and bumped over there by Strandberg. Taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Roll shot by Tran, received by Irwin, set by Romer. A spike to the corner, beautifully placed by Taryn Campbell. Just great trajectory there. BTA thought it was going to fly out, but it drops in off the top spin. Now this serve received, set by Johnson, punched over by, I think, Santagata, dug out by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez missed that one into the net. Six to 1 now going on serve for BTA is Mina Tran. This serve dug out by Lopez, but sent over on one, sent back wide by Elizabeth Chung. You know, sometimes teams, they don't expect the ball to come back on one, and they're just not ready for it to drop in a wild spot because it's an unintentional hit of sorts. So Fede Lopez picks up her fourth kill in an unconventional manner as Irwin serves this one over, taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Long the spike. It's dug out by Romer, followed up by Irwin. Campbell pushes towards the sideline. It's dug out by Chung, followed up there and bumped over by Yu. Taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez gonna bump it over. Kind of missed time to advance there. It's taken by Long, set by Johnson. Long cross court. It's dug out by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez pushes it down the line and through the blockers for the kill. Fede Lopez, good adjustment on multiple points, deciding how she was going to attack that ball, picks up her fifth kill. As this serve shallow, but it's taken by Tong, Set up and punched over by Long. Dug out just barely by Irwin. Chased down by Romer. Punched over by Lopez. Taken by Tong. And they couldn't send it over on 2. That one, I guess, close enough to be another kill for Lopez. This serve taken by Chung. Set by Johnson. Long. Taken by Brown, set by Romer. Tap over by Lopez, diving dig, barely sent over on 2 by Chung. Taken by Romer, bumped up by Irwin. Roll shot by Lopez. It's taken by Long, set by Johnson. Long, the hard spike, and she curved it to the sideline for the kill. Glorianne Long, great placement on a hit that almost looked like a mistake, but you know, I said it before with one of Newman's points in the first set, a point's a point, and a kill's a kill. You know? This serve is going to miss wide. I had it as 7-4, and the scoreboard was 1 behind, and I think the scorekeepers are about to correct them and make it 7-5. All right, there it is. 7-5, BTA still leads. Serve from Campbell, received by Chung, bumped up by Johnson and bumped over by Long. Taken by Brown on the back line, set by Romer from the back. It's Campbell with a roll shot. Beautiful top spin from Taryn Campbell. Second kill of the day for Taryn Campbell. Cuts it down to a 1-point deficit. This serve, and that's going to be an ace. Taryn Campbell, the senior, delivering in a clutch situation for Newman here in the second set to tie things up at 7. This serve received by Tong, bumped up by Long, and bumped over, received by Campbell, set by Romer to the left to Lopez, and Lopez delivers with another smash. The Ruby Romer Fede Lopez connection continues to deliver for Newman. 7 kills for Lopez, 9 assists for Romer, and Newman now has the lead. Serve from Campbell. Received there by Yu, but received awkwardly, and that's going to be an ace for Campbell, her second. Newman rallying off the serves from their senior. This serve dug out by Yu. Battle at the net is won by Johnson. And they're going to say that Kosovic touched the net, and the point goes to BTA. Jensine Johnson going on serve as Anna Ricky Keltner subs in for the Lions. Johnson's serve dug out by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez, the roll shot taken by Johnson, set by Chung. Long taps it over, and it's dug out by Campbell, set by Romer. Kosovic, the roll shot taken by Johnson, followed up by Chung, and bumped over by Long. Now received by Irwin. Set by Romer, going to the left to Lopez. A deep roll shot. Did it drop in? It did. Beautiful placement on the roll shot to the back by Fede Lopez. 8 kills. She has almost matched her total from that 5-set thriller on Friday. Most of it just coming in this set. This serve from Lopez is kept alive. Could they get the third hit over? No chance there. Might be just a little bit short of a full ace as BTA gave a strong effort to receive that one. But strong serving from Fede Lopez. And boy, the power of Taryn Campbell, Fede Lopez, and Ruby Romer rallying for Newman as since falling behind 5-0 and it's been an 11-3 run for the Cardinals. And a fair amount of postseason stakes in this match, as a very helpful fan pointed out to me during the break between sets. Newman, in a battle to potentially take first place in the league standings in the Massachusetts Bay Independent League Division I, while Boston Trinity Academy hovering around 4th or 5th. But here's the thing, with two games left, including this one, if Newman wins out both in this match and in a following match against CCA, Covenant Christian Academy, then Newman could get tiebreakers and take first place over CCA. But if they were to lose both this match and a match to CCA, then not only would they not get first place, but BTA could jump them in the standings. So there is a lot to play for even this late into the regular season. You can never let up. Out of the timeout, Lopez back on serve. This serve dug out by Chung, followed up awkwardly and can't be bumped over. A bit of miscommunication over who was going to take that second hit, as it was within the realm of both Comiso and Keltner. And again, just a little bit short of a full ace, but still good serving from Lopez. This serve is definitely an ace this time. Fede Lopez with her first ace of the match. She had 4 aces to go along with 9 kills on Friday. Now she's got 8 kills and 1 ace here in the second set. This one down the line, and it can't be dug out by Tong. Fede Lopez mixing up her location as she gets her second straight ace. This serve is received by Long, bumped up by Chung, punched over there, received awkwardly by Lopez, and that's not going to be followed up. That's, I think we can consider that a kill for Comiso, with an assist going to Elizabeth Chung. 14-9. The serve from Long, dug out there by, I think, Campbell, sent over on 2 by Romer. It's taken by Johnson, bumped up by Chung, pushed over by Tran, diving dig by Irwin. Set by Romer, back to Campbell. Shot over is dug out by Johnson, followed up by Chung and bumped over by Tran. Received by Lopez, set by Romer, going to the back again, this time to Lopez, who fires a shot to the back line, just too long. Just a slight overshot there from Fede Lopez. BTA trying to fight back here. Long serve into the net. 15-10, Newman leads here in set number 2. As Vivian Strandberg subs back in on that front line in place of Irwin, with Hanna Kosovic going on serve. Then that serve's going to drop in for an ace. Hanna Kosovic was sick and stuck watching at home as her team pulled out that 5-set thriller against Husak last Friday. Now she's here on the floor, and she's got 2 aces so far in this match. This one received by Chung, chased down for the follow-up, and bumped over by Johnson. Dug out by Kosovic, set by Romer, punched over by Brown, taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Tran gonna bump it into the net. And while that may not register any offensive statistics for Newman, got to give a shout out to Ruby Romer. That first hit was very close to the net, very dangerous potential for a violation there, but Romer, good poise there. Served to Chung, sent over on 2 by Johnson, taken by Campbell, bumped up by Romer. Campbell, the roll shot there, it's taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Tran the spike, and I think she just missed that one into the net. Couple tough misses for the Lions. And Newman now with an 8-point lead. Kosevic's serve is dug out there by Tran, followed up by Johnson, bumped over by Tran. Taken along the back by Lopez, sent over on 2 by Romer. Good reach by Ruby Romer. That first hit, not where she wanted it, but making lemonade out of lemons on that one for the kill. This serve is received. Bumped up and bumped over by Chung. Kosevic takes it, barely followed up by Campbell and bumped over by Brown. Taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Tran gonna try the roll shot to the back corner. Great placement there from Mina Tran. As BTA not giving up here. That's 4 kills now for Mina Tran, 4 assists for Jensine Johnson. This serve from Camiso, received by Campbell a bit awkwardly, but followed up by Romer, and Strandberg cannot get that third hit over. And that one, Newman just thrown off by the spin off Camiso's serve, resulted in the hit flying sideways off Campbell. Romer had to chase it down, couldn't get it close to the net, and then Strandberg didn't come back enough for it. Serve, received by Irwin, set by Romer, and it's going to be bumped over by Brown off the net court. It is dug out there by Camiso, bumped up by Johnson, and bumped over by Tran. Chased down by Irwin, followed up by Romer. Brown taps it over the net court just barely, and they can't get it out. Callie Brown picking up her first kill that time. Or her second kill, excuse me. Romer, her 11th assist. Romer on serve, and she delivers with another ace. She has already surpassed her ace total from the 5-set match on Friday. She's got 5 aces today. This serve, received a bit awkwardly by Yu. Oh, it went over on 1. And it's going to be a bump kill for Jiangning Yu. As, again, you know, sometimes teams just aren't ready for the ball to come over on 1. Serve from Yu, received by Irwin, set by Campbell, and punched over by Strandberg. Received by Chung, followed up by Johnson, pushed over by Tran. Taken by Irwin, set by Romer, punched over by Campbell, taken by Chung, set by Johnson, roll shot Tran, dug out by Irwin, bumped up by Romer, looking to the left to Brown, spike is dug out by Chung, set by Johnson, Tran, blocked, recovers, oh, but she hit it twice. Good blocking there again from Taryn Campbell. So that one just went off the net, didn't have the reinforcements around her. 3 blocks now for Campbell. This serve dug out just barely. Followed up by Johnson, bumped over by Tran. Taken by Irwin, set by Romer. And an awkward spike there from Strandberg, as no one was quite in the position they needed to follow up that straight up set from Romer. Subbing in for BTA, Glorianne Long replacing Addie Green. Serve from Tran, received by Lopez, bumped up by Campbell, and a long roll shot from Lopez, taken by Yu. Bumped up by Johnson. A hard spike is blocked again by Campbell. Sent over on a second effort by Long. Punched over on 2 by Strandberg. Sent back on 1 by Long. Battle at the net is won by Johnson. Jensine Johnson with her first block of the match. Still a comfortable Newman lead, but BTA keeps on fighting. Serve from Tran, received by Irwin, chased down by Romer, and bumped over by Campbell. Taken by Tran, set by Johnson. Long shot from Long, taken by Irwin, set by Romer to the left, has to be bumped over by Lopez. Oh, but it goes off the fingertips, and they almost got it over. Oh my goodness. Boy, Lopez again making the smart, conservative decision there to just go for the bump when the pass wasn't where she needed it. And it almost just straight up turned into a kill as BTA struggled to receive that one. Irwin's serve, taken by Tong, set by Johnson. Long the spike is blocked, recovered, sent over on 2 by Johnson, taken by Kosovic, punched over on 2 by Campbell, deflected and taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Long the roll shot, dug out by Romer, followed up by Irwin. Campbell winds and fires, blocked! Blocked by Glory and Long. Boy, these two teams now really getting into some battles at the net here in the second set, and it's thrilling to watch. 23-16, Newman leads. Elizabeth Chung on serve. And into the net. It'll be set point now for Newman. Trying to take a 2-0 lead and come within 1 of winning the match. Taryn Campbell on serve. The serve received by Tong, set by Johnson, punched over, received by Brown on the back, bumped over on 2 by Romer, sent over by Johnson, dug out by Irwin, followed up by Romer. Spike from Lopez never gets over. Subbing in is Anna Ricky Keltner. She'll join Camiso and Long on that front line as Jensine Johnson goes on serve. Still set point for Newman. Oh, serve just whiffed on. Man, after all the great points we had in that second set, it's kind of a bummer to end it that way, but sometimes that's the way the ball bounces. Newman takes the second set 25-17, overcoming an early 5-0 deficit to take control and never look back. Newman now up 2-0. They are 1 set away from taking this one in a sweep. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Bradley Gym. We got a note in the live chat from Emma Francis Chet. Amazing job, guys. You guys are really doing great. Cheering on the freshman, cheering on her teammates as she watches them take the 2-0 lead. I'm going to take a break again and mute my mic, run a YouTube ad break, but I will be back with the third and possibly final set of this match. Stay tuned. Lee, we're in the midst of a break between sets here. The sound will come back when the teams come back out on the court for set number 3. Hello again, back on the mic. Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Bradley Gym on the campus of Boston Trinity Academy in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the third and possibly final set of this high school varsity girls volleyball match between the visiting Newman School Cardinals and hosting Boston Trinity Academy Lions. Newman up 2-0, and remember, folks, it's a best-of-5 match. That means first to 3 sets wins. So if Newman wins this set, then the match is over. However, it's not over for BTA. If they win this set, we go to a 4th set, and then if BTA is able to win again in the 4th set, we would go to a do-or-die 5th set. That would be first to 15, win by 2, as opposed to the normal first to 25, win by 2. And give credit, BTA looked much better in that 2nd set than they did in the 1st. After surrendering a 10-0 lead to start the match in the 1st set, they came out strong with a 5-0 advantage of their own in the 2nd set. But Newman, after kind of coasting to victory in the 1st set, they answered the challenge in the 2nd set, came back, took the lead, and took control and got the win. Set scores have been 25-12 and 25-17, so the 2nd set closer than the 1st. Let's see what happens here in set number 3. Ruby Romer to take first serve for Newman. This serve dug out by Yu. Bumped up there by Glasswinkler. Sent over by Santagata. Now Newman sets it up for Taryn Campbell. Great placement from Taryn Campbell. Off the assist there from Romer. 12 assists for Romer, 3 kills for Campbell. Now Romer's serve received by Yu. Chased down by Glasswinkler, bumped over by Santagata. Now punched over by Newman, and it's kept alive by Chung. Oh, no chance there. Good shot there from Newman as they go up 2-0. Serve from Romer, received by Yu, and Glasswinkler couldn't tap it over on the 2nd hit. A teensy bit short of an ace, but still more strong serving from Ruby Romer. It was her serves that led Newman to a 10-0 lead in the 1st set. She's got 5 aces so far today. And that one is going to curve just wide. So not quite the same monumental lead they had at the start of the 1st. But they still have the edge as BTA now goes on serve. It'll be Mina Tran, the first server for the Lions. And that one off the net cord goes off a shoulder. That was the funkiest bounce I've ever seen. Mina Tran picking up the ace as that went off the net cord, off of Taryn Campbell's shoulder, and then no one else could follow it up. Tran's serve, received by Lopez off the net, could not be kept alive. I think we can generously call that a 2nd ace for Mina Tran as she ties us up at 3. This serve received by Lopez, and it's going to go over on 1 and be tapped back down there by Glorianne Long. Newman struggling on the service receive here as Long picks up her 2nd kill of the match. And Tran misses on that one. We're tied up at 4 as Newman gets the free point there. Callie Brown now on serve for the Cardinals. Subbing in for BTA, number 6, Juliana Tong. Serve from Brown, taken by Chung. Set by Glasswinkler. Long the spike, dug out by Lopez. Kept alive by Irwin. They can't bump it over on 3. Just a little bit short of a kill, but a good shot from Glorianne Long. As now Tiffany Comiso subs in for the Lions, replacing Mina Tran. Elizabeth Chung on serve as Addie Gordon subs in for Newman, replacing Brown. This serve received by Lopez and over on one. Oh, and a miss hit by Comiso. Lopez had a little trouble with the service receives today. That time gets a little lucky and effectively picks up her 9th kill. This serve from Irwin, received by Comiso, set by Glasswinkler. Comiso with the roll shot. It's taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Lopez, the hard spike, dug out by Tong, set by Glasswinkler. A spike down the line is delivered by Glorianne Long. 3rd kill for Glorianne Long, 1st assist for Linda Glasswinkler. We didn't see any of Glasswinkler the last 2 sets, but now they've got her in at setter. This serve received along the back line, set by Romer. Spike by Lopez down the line is dug out by Glasswinkler, followed up by Tong, and it's going to be bumped over by Comiso, and that's going to drop in. BTA making things work. Tiffany Comiso with her 2nd kill, and that'll be a 1st assist to Juliana Tong. 7-5, the BTA lead here in set number 3. Serve is an ace. That one went just over the head of the frontliners and dropped right at the feet of the backliners. Linda Glasswinkler with her 1st ace of the day. And misses that one into the net. Eight to 6, the Lions lead the Cardinals. Taryn Campbell now on serve. And that serve misses wide. A good watch by Tong on that far sideline. And now she'll check out for Mina Tran. And Long goes on serve. And misses that one into the net. The teams trading service errors. Callie Brown subbing back in on that front line, replacing Addie Gordon. Meanwhile, for BTA, Addie Green subbing in, replacing Glorianne Long on the back line for BTA. Serve from Lopez, received by Green, set by Glasswinkler. Tran pushes it over, chased down by Campbell, set by Romer. Brown the swing, dug out by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. A spike from Tran, almost dug out by Irwin, but not quite. Mina Tran with her team-leading 5th kill as Glasswinkler picks up her 2nd assist. 10-7 BTA leads. The serve from Comiso. Oh, they weren't ready. They couldn't decide who was going to take it, and Comiso picks up an ace. And that one just comes off her hand wrong. And Newman goes back on serve. The freshman, Hannah Kosovic, will be serving here as Vivian Strandberg checks in on the front line. Zhang Ning Yu back in the game on the back line for BTA. Kosovic serve dug out by Yu, followed up by Chung, and bumped over there by Tran. Taken by Campbell, set by Romer, looking for Brown, sends it over, dug out by Green, set by Glasswinkler. Tran, the roll shot, dug out by Lopez, set by Romer, looking for Strandberg, and she launches it too far. Charlotte Irwin, the libero, back in on that back line for Newman, replacing Kosovic. 12-8. Serve from you. Received by Lopez. Sent back on one, and that's a kill for Carolina Santagata. And a timeout is called by Newman as the Lions off to their best start so far. 13-8 as we are now in the middle stages of this third set. Still a fair amount of volleyball left to be played here in this third frame, but BTA executing a lot better than those first couple of sets so far. You know, it's interesting, after this match started with Newman taking a 10-0 lead in the first set, you know, this really looked like it was going to be a completely one-sided blowout. But give credit to BTA. They not only, you know, maintained their mental fortitude through such a bad start, but, you know, they fought roughly even with Newman through the rest of that first set, only being outscored 15-12 the rest of the way after that 10-0 start. Then they took a 5-0 lead in the second set, showing they could execute a little better and even go ahead. Ultimately surrendered the lead, but kept the second set a lot closer, 25-17. And now here they are with the lead at the midpoint. Serve from you, received by Lopez, set by Romer, back to Lopez. The roll shot is taken by Chung, set by Glasswinkler, sent over by Tran, received by Campbell, set by Romer, punched over by Brown, taken by Glasswinkler, bumped up by Chung. Tran, high roll shot there, taken by Lopez, bumped up by Romer, punched over again by Brown, and this time Callie Brown with a big kill out of the timeout. And for Callie Brown, that is 3 kills today. Romer with 13 assists. This serve from Romer. Another ace for Ruby Romer. That's 6. Newman, they've just got some servers that can really get hot if they get their moments. This serve dug out by Green, set by Glasswinkler. Punched over, diving dig by Brown, followed up by Lopez, but no one there to get that third hit. BTA answering right back and making sure a strong server like Romer can't keep serving for Newman. Glorianne Long subbing back in on that front line for Addie Green. Serve from Tran, received there by Brown, bumped up by Romer. Campbell sends it down the line, dug out by Glasswinkler, bumped up by Long, pushed over by Glasswinkler. Taken by Lopez, too close to the net, but it's blocked by Campbell. Taryn Campbell saw that ball go over her head, waited until it passed her, and then rose up to block it. Great instincts from Taryn Campbell. This serve off the net court, dug out by Tong, followed up by Glasswinkler, bumped over by Yu. Taken by Irwin. Set by Romer. Campbell from the right. Dug out by Tong. Chased down by Glasswinkler off the net. Cannot be followed up. May not be a full kill, but a point is a point. Callie Brown back on serve. This one coming in high. It's taken by Tong. Set by Glasswinkler. Punched over by Long. It's taken by Lopez, set by Romer. Lopez fires the roll shot, taken by Yu. Set by Glasswinkler to the left. Long's a shot, and Long delivers with another kill. 4 kills now for Glorianne Long. 3 assists for Glasswinkler. 15-12, BTA leads. Chung on serve for the Lions. This one received by Lopez, going back, followed up awkwardly by Gordon and bumped over by Lopez. Received by Yu, set by Glasswinkler to the middle. Comiso taps it over, diving, dig by Romer. Followed up by Irwin and bumped over by Campbell. Taken by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. Long, the hard spike, diving, dig again by Gordon. A battle at the net, cannot be won by Newman as it's blocked by Glorianne Long. Second block for Long. More intense battles at the net. Chung serve, dug out by Irwin, set by Romer, battle at the net, and it's blocked. Comiso with the block. Back-to-back blocks for the Lions as they now lead by 5. And that serve is going to miss. Newman gets a free point, but they're starting to run out of room to potentially come back as we're getting to the edges of the late stages of this set. 17-13 BTA leads. Irwin on serve. Received by Yu. Set by Glasswinkler. Punched over by Comiso. And no one was able to read that one on Newman's side. Third kill for Comiso as she put the topspin on that one and dropped that right in the center of about 3 or 4 Newman defenders. Glasswinkler's serve received by Gordon. Followed up by Irwin, and no chance for Lopez. Bit of an awkward second hit there. Irwin trying to correct for the first hit, staying along that back line, and kind of overcorrected and missed timing with Lopez there. A timeout called by Newman as BTA with a 19-13 lead. They look to be on the verge of taking their first set of this match, which would force us into a 4th set. Newman would still need just 1 set win to take the match. But if we go to a 4th set, then BTA would be 1 set win away from tying it up. (19-13), Glasswinkler misses on the serve out of the timeout. And let's see if Newman is able to implement some adjustments after the timeout. They still trail by 5. BTA on the cusp of reaching that 20-point threshold. Serve from Campbell, received by Long, set awkwardly by Glasswinkler, and that underhit gets over, and they call it a legal hit. I guess because it went off the arm. Awkward hit for Comiso, ends up working out. And BTA gets to 20. They are 5 points away while leading by 6. This serve from Long, received by Brown, set by Romer to the right to Lopez. The shot goes off the fingertips, and a kill for Fede Lopez. And Newman needed to execute on a good sequence, as they've been having some sloppy sequences the past several points. 10 kills now for Lopez, 14 assists for Romer. Serve from Lopez, sent over on one, taken by Brown, bumped up by Romer. Brown punches it off the pole, and that's a violation there. (21-15) the score in favor of the Lions. On serve now, I believe, is Comiso. And this one is received by Campbell, set by Romer. Brown punches it. It's taken by Green, set by Glasswinkler, bumped over by Tran. Received by Campbell, set by Romer. Back to Campbell. Deep roll shot there, dug out by Green. Set by Glasswinkler. Punched off the side of the hand by Tran, dug out by Campbell, followed up by Romer, bumped over by Brown. Taken again by Green, followed up by Glasswinkler, close to the net. Tran barely gets it over, received by Romer, punched on two by Kosovic, taken by Green, set by Glasswinkler. Tran the spike to the back, it's dug out by Lopez, followed up just barely by Romer, bumped over by Irwin. Taken by Glasswinkler, bumped up by Green, bumped over by Keltner. Taken by Brown, set by Romer, spike Brown, dug out by Glasswinkler, followed up by Keltner, bumped over by Tran, traced down by Campbell, set by Romer. Kosovic off the deflection, it's dug out by Glasswinkler, sent over on two, dug out by Irwin, set by Romer, looking to Campbell who taps it over. It's taken again by Comiso, set by Glasswinkler, spike Tran, received by Campbell, set by Romer. Brown taps it, and they can't get it over, but it's still live. Spiked over, taken by Irwin, set by Romer, bumped over by Campbell, taken by Green, now set by Glasswinkler. Santagata the spike. Oh my goodness. What was that? This serve is dug out by Irwin, followed up by Romer, and a spike into the net by Brown. Serve from Comiso. Taken by Irwin, set by Romer. Kosovic sends it over. Chased down by Comiso. Battle at the net. Won by BTA. Recovered by Campbell. Awkward follow-up, and it's bumped over by Brown. Taken by Glasswinkler. Bumped up by Comiso. Bumped over by Tran. Taken by Campbell. Sent on two by Romer. Dug out by Glasswinkler. Followed up by Comiso. Tran, a hard spike. Dug out by Lopez. Set by Romer. Lopez from the back. And it's dug out barely by Green, followed up by Tran, and bumped over by Comiso. Taken by Campbell, close to the net. Romer kept it alive. We're getting some wild points here in the late stages of this third set, as Romer makes that one happen for her second kill. Taryn Campbell picks up the assist. And Kosovic misses the serve into the net. It's now set point for BTA. Zhang Ning Yu on serve to try and win the set for the Lions. The serve received a bit awkwardly by Campbell, followed up by Irwin. Strandberg misses the spike, and that is how that set will end. At the end of three, we are not done yet. BTA gets themselves on the board, winning the set 25-16. So the next set could still be the last one of the match if Newman wins, but if BTA wins, we'll go to a do-or-die fifth set. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, going to take a break and mute the mic and run a YouTube ad break, but I'll be back with the fourth set of this match. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan back on the mic here at Bradley Gymnasium in Boston, Massachusetts, where we enter the fourth set of this high school varsity girls volleyball match between the Newman School Cardinals and the Boston Trinity Academy Lions. The Lions keep their hopes alive with a third set win, 25-16. Newman still up 2-1. And so it'll just be a matter of either Newman wins this set and wins the match, or BTA wins the set and we go to a do-or-die fifth set. On serve to start for BTA will be Zhang Ning Yu. This serve is received by Lopez, set by Romer, tap over by Callie Brown, jug out by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. At the net, it's blocked by Romer, and now tap down by Romer. Great follow-up there. Ruby Romer applying pressure. And I think that time I'd give her the kill. If it had scored on that first hit, I'd give her a block. But this one, I'd go with a kill. Now the serve from Romer, received by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. Awkwardly punched over and missed wide. There off the hit from Santagata. Just a little too much lateral movement on that set and off on the timing. Serve, and that's ace number 7 for Ruby Romer. Spectacular serving day for the Newman junior setter. This serve taken by Yu, followed up a bit awkwardly by Chung, and bumped over there by Tran, taken by Irwin, sit by Romer, punched over by Brown, taken by Glasswinkler, followed up by Chung, bumped over there by Santagata, and whiffed on the on-2 hit by Romer. You know, that's one where it's like in practice you got to work on doing those on-2 dump-offs with 2 hands. You'll have a lot more control that way. Glorianne Long subbing in for BTA. Serve from Mina Tran into the net. Newman ahead early here in this fourth set, 4-1. Callie Brown now on serve. And just whiffs on that one. Now Tiffany Comiso subbing in for Carolina Santagata as Elizabeth Chung goes on serve. Chung's serve received by Irwin. Bumped up by Romer, looking for Lopez, taps it over, sliding dig by Chung, sent right back in their face by Taryn Campbell. Campbell picking up her 4th kill of this match so far. Now Charlotte Irwin the serve, dug out by Yu, set by Glasswinkler, and a tap over. Well executed there by Comiso. 5 kills now for Tiffany Comiso, 6 assists for Linda Glasswinkler. Serve now from Glasswinkler. And that one was missed by the receiver, but also missed the back line, and so Newman gets the point. Listen, a point's a point. You take what you get. Serve from Campbell, received by Tong, set by Glasswinkler, a bit off the mark, and no chance for Keltner to bump that one over. Campbell's serve, this time dug out by Chung, bumped up but just barely by Comiso. Battle at the net, gets over, recovered by Romer, punched over on 2 by Kosovic, received by Chung, set by Tong, and a whiff on the third hit by Keltner. BTA struggling to get their hitting sequences together early in this fourth set, and honestly a smart timeout called by the BTA coach. When your team is out of sorts like that, out of sequence, and it's not so much that the opponent is getting these really strong hits so much as, you know, somewhere in the sequence of hits, things are just, wires are getting crossed. It's a good time to call a timeout and get your team settled down. You know, remind them that you guys can execute on these plays. Just settle down and stick to the good fundamentals. Out of the timeout, we'll see what kind of adjustments the teams have made. Serve stays with Taryn Campbell. This serve is received, set by Glasswinkler, over to Keltner, who sends it over. It's dug out by Brown, set by Romer to the back, and a shot from Campbell is going to sail too far. Eight to 4 as Mina Tran subs in for the Lions. On that front line, replacing Juliana Tong. Serve from long, taken by Brown along the sideline, followed up by Irwin, and it's going to be bumped over by Brown. Received by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. Tran, an awkward punch, and it's received by Campbell, set by Romer. Sent over by Lopez, dug out by Glasswinkler. Followed up by Chung for Tran again. Roll shot to the back. Well executed on that hit. Mina Tran with her 6th kill as Elizabeth Chung picks up her 2nd assist. This serve from long, awkwardly off the chest, and that is going to be an ace for Glorianne Long, her 2nd. This serve received by Irwin, set by Romer. Lopez from the right, the spike taken awkwardly by Keltner, followed up even more awkwardly, and Newman gets the point. Just short of a full kill there, but still a great curving serve, great curving spike right to left by Fede Lopez, who now goes on serve for the Cardinals. The serve dug out by Addie Green, followed up by Glasswinkler, but it's over the net, pushed back over by Romer, and Romer just barely gets the kill on that one. Almost didn't get it over. That would have been disastrous. But instead, the disaster goes BTA's way as Ruby Romer picks up her 4th kill of the match. Serve Lopez, and that's an ace. These Newman servers can get hot at any point. 3 aces now for Lopez. And that one barely dug out by Chung, punched over on 2 by Glasswinkler, taken by Irwin, set to the left by Romer, punched over on a high arc by Brown, sent over on 1, sent back on 1 by Brown, taken by Glasswinkler, bumped up by Chung. At the net, it's pushed to the left, sent right back over on 1 by Brown, sent right back by BTA, taken by Brown, set by Romer. Kosovic, a high arcing shot, taken by Glasswinkler, followed up by Chung. Tran misses into the net. Another chaotic rally, and this time it goes Newman's way. 12-6, the Cardinals lead. This serve from Lopez, barely dug out by Green. Followed up awkwardly by Keltner and Chung. Oh, that one was very close to the line off the punch from Chung. But the officials said it goes wide, 13-6. Lopez's serve dug out by Chung. Bumped up awkwardly there. A battle at the net cannot be won really by anyone. Just no good chance for Tran. Again, a lot of these just short of being aces, but Fede Lopez is putting pressure on the BTA receivers. This one curving over to Green. Followed up by Glasswinkler. Punched over by Tran. Taken by Campbell. Off the net, kept alive by Romer, and they can't follow it up. That first hit just got a little bit away from Campbell. Flew a little close, too close to the net. Now on serve for BTA is Comiso. This one dug out by Irwin, followed up by Brown, bumped over by Irwin, received by Green, set by Glasswinkler. Tran sends it over, taken by Kosovic, followed up by Romer. From the back, it's Lopez, dug out by Green, chased down near the benches by Tran, bumped over there, received by Lopez, set by Romer. It's going to be bumped over by Kosovic, and almost got it over on three, but not quite. What a wild sequence. BTA barely keeping the point alive on that hit that almost flew all the way to the stands, the fan stands, not the benches. My mistake. Serve from Kosovic is going to sail long. (15-8), the Newman lead. Here in set number 4. This serve into the net from Yu. Newman maintaining a solid lead here in the middle stages of the set. Up by 8. 9 points away from winning the match, but they have to keep pushing. Romer's serve received by Chung, followed up by Green. Tap over, diving dig by Romer, followed up by Brown, and bumped over by Irwin. Taken by Chung, set by Glasswinkler. Punched, no angle there for Mina Tran to get that one over. BTA was so well organized on their sequences in that third set, and some of that spark has just been lost, and so they're going to make a switch at setter. They're going to go back to Jensine Johnson. Going to Glasswinkler proved a big catalyst in the third set. Let's see what happens here as this one barely kept alive by Santagata, bumped over by Johnson, taken by Lopez, set by Romer, spiked by Strandberg, is dug out by Green, followed up a bit awkwardly and punched over by Santagata, taken by Brown, set by Romer, to the back to Lopez, roll shot, diving dig by Green, followed up by Johnson. Santagata taps it over, taken by Romer, bumped up by Irwin, looking for Campbell, the hard spike to the back for the kill. Great placement there by Taryn Campbell as she picks up her 5th kill. And meanwhile, Charlotte Irwin with her 1st assist. Romer, the serve is going to miss wide. And Glorianne Long going to sub back in for BTA, replacing Addie Green. Serve from Tran, taken by Irwin. Bumped up by Romer, looking for Campbell, who mistimes her jump there and just whiffs on it. This serve from Tran, dug out by Irwin, sent over on one, sent right back, kept alive by Romer, but not enough, as that'll be a kill for Glorianne Long. This serve from Tran is going to go for an ace. BTA is not backing down from the fight, and Newman going to call a timeout with a 6-point lead. They want to try and stop this momentum before it gets out of their control. Newman still in a solid position here, up 6, 7 points away from victory. But BTA starting to string some things together. And I will say it's been very interesting to watch Boston Trinity Academy making their substitutions at the setter position, because they've kind of been doing it just to see who's got the hot hand in terms of passing and setting up their teammates. You know, when one starts stringing together some erroneous passes or less than ideal passes, they switch to the other, see if they can provide a spark. It worked out really well with Linda Glasswinkler in that third set. And now here in the fourth set, they're trying to sub in Jensine Johnson to see if they can produce a similar spark here in set number 4. On serve now is Tran out of the timeout. This serve received by Lopez, set by Romer, and it's going to be bumped over by Brown. Taken by Chung. Set by Johnson. Long the spike off the net cord. Pushed right back by Campbell. Taken by Tran. Set by Johnson. Long tries again. Deflected and pushed back again by Campbell. Taken by Tran. Sent over on 2 by Johnson. It's dug out by Romer. Bumped up by Irwin. Looking for Brown on the left. And she launches it to the back line. Perfectly placed for a kill. That one looks like it might potentially sail, but has enough topspin on it for Callie Brown to pick up her 4th kill as Charlotte Irwin picks up her 2nd assist. This serve dug out by Chung, and Campbell got into traffic there and could not follow it up. The bump kill for Elizabeth Chung. Her first kill of the day, 19-13. Chung's serve dug out there by Brown, set by Romer, too close to the net, and no chance to get that one there. This serve received by Brown, bumped up by Romer. Lopez, the roll shot. It's kept alive there. Set by Johnson and bumped over by Long. To the back, it's taken by Brown. Set by Romer. To the right this time. Pushed over by Campbell. And Campbell drops it in no man's land for the kill. 6 kills now for Taryn Campbell as Romer picks up her 15th assist. And Newman has reached the 20-point threshold. Irwin's serve coming in shallow, chased down by Chung. Followed up by Tong, bumped over by Camiso. Received by Brown, set by Romer. To the left to Lopez, pushes it down the line. Great control by Fede Lopez. That is 11 kills for her. And that is 16 assists for Romer. (21-14) as Kaya Lee subs in for BTA. This serve taken by Chung, Set by Johnson, punched over, I think by Long. It's dug out by Brown, set by Romer to the middle to Kosovic. And Hannah Kosovic punches it through the blockers for her first kill of the day. Serve from Irwin, received by Yu, set by Johnson. Long the spike, dug out by Romer, followed up by Irwin, and Campbell whiffed on the bump over there. Newman still pretty comfortably ahead, up by 7 here in set number 4, but they still got to get those last 3 points. Johnson, a shallow serve, sent back on 1 by Brown, taken by Chung, set by Johnson. Long just bumps it over, chased down by Brown, followed up by Irwin, and they get lost there. Both teams kind of struggling to execute on their sequence there, but for Newman it was much more disastrous. As, whoops, I put the point in the wrong spot. My mistake there, apologies. It's 22-16. Johnson, the shallow serve, sent over on 1 by Lopez. Taken there by Chung, set by Johnson. Long the spike, deflected, and could not be followed up. You know, teachable moment there. Try and get a little closer to your fellow blocker. Help them out when they get the deflection there. Serve is deep and too deep. That's going to be long. And Newman gets the point. 23-17, Newman 2 points away. Taryn Campbell on serve. That one dug out just barely by Yu, followed up by Johnson. Bumps the swing off the net cord, and they cannot dig it out. Fede Lopez puts Newman at match point here with her 12th kill. Serving for the match is Campbell. It's dug out, followed up by Comiso. Bumped over by Johnson. Taken by Campbell. Set to the left by Romer. Lopez finishes! Fede Lopez finishes a tremendous day with the match-winning point. The final score, the Newman School Cardinals 3 sets. The Boston Trinity Academy Lions 1 set. Set scores 25-12, 25-17, 16-25, 25-17. That connection from Romer to Lopez on the left side was going hard all match long. As on my unofficial stat counts, Fede Lopez finished with 13 kills to lead the team, as well as getting 3 aces and 1 assist. Ruby Romer racking up a team-leading 19 assists, a team-leading 7 aces, and 4 kills on top of it. Taryn Campbell, a strong day, 6 kills, a team-leading 4 blocks, 2 aces, and 1 assist. Callie Brown generated 4 kills of her own. Hannah Kosovic with 2 aces and 1 kill. And Charlotte Irwin with 2 assists and 1 ace. For BTA, it was Glory Ann Long with 6 kills, 2 aces, and 2 blocks, while Mina Tran tied for the team lead in kills with 6 of her own, to go along with a team-high 3 service aces. Tiffany Comiso put up 5 kills, 1 ace, and 1 block. Linda Glasswinkler with 6 assists and 1 ace. Jensine Johnson, 6 assists and 1 block. Carolina Santagata with 2 kills and 1 assist. Elizabeth Chung with 2 assists and 1 kill. And Zhang Ning Yu with 2 aces and 1 kill. And Juliana Tong with 1 assist. Again, those are just my unofficial numbers for the match. They don't necessarily reflect what would have been the official stats for, that the team kept themselves. Lee in the live chat saying, yay, go Newman. Thanks, Jesse, for the coverage. My pleasure. Happy to have been able to be here. And that's going to do it for this broadcast. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Remember, if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video where you can find some helpful links related to me that you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, my email, and also my social media on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting highlights from this match for Newman on this channel as well as on my social media later tonight, so be on the lookout for those. All right, Newman 3, BTA 1 from Bradley Gym in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.